Hey guys, welcome back. We're here to bring you some tips for 20.3, which is 18.4. I'm Lewis, this is Danielle. We are here for 20.3. It's a repeat, our first repeat of this open. What do you think?
I think that this workout was really hard when I did it, and it's definitely all about your low back and your ability to manage fatigue.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this one is harder in a very different way than the last two. We were talking about this earlier. Danielle said the last two workouts felt very much like kind of community-based, all-inclusive workouts. Anyone can do them regardless of skill level.
I think this one, with the scaled option, it is regardless of skill level, and it's still highly accessible. You don't need a lot of equipment or a lot of space to get it done. You need 25 feet to do handstand walk and a wall or a makeshift wall. Like anybody can do this workout pretty much anywhere.
I remember videos of people doing this in Globo gyms and in their home garages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it on a sidewalk.
It is, but from like a competitive standpoint, it's gonna hurt in like a very different way. It is much more so about like muscular fatigue. The bar is obviously way heavier.
Yeah.
It hurts, like you said.
Yeah, I think people finally got that heavy barbell that they wanted. Maybe not in terms of like a max lift like they were hoping, but at least it's something heavier for someone who was hoping for that. Again, probably someone that's a little shorter is a little more advantageous in this workout than our tall person or taller athlete. As you could see in the announcement today, you could tell his deadlifts have to travel a lot further than Kristen Holta.
Definitely a short person workout. It's probably going to shake up the leaderboard, especially in some countries for national champ, which is not always a bad thing. That's cool. As far as scores, we have the open leaderboard from 2 years ago to go off of. But what do you think is like a competitive score on this?
So I think anything under 7 minutes is competitive. And then for women, our fastest time was just under 6 minutes. So I think we will see more scores under 6 minutes.
Yeah, there was a handful of people at or just under 6 minutes. We're probably going to see a little bit more this time around.
Especially with the men. I mean, you're going to see guys just get faster. So if they had 6:30, maybe they'll get like 6:20, 6:15.
Yeah. But last time this came around, just finishing for the men was a great score.
Yeah. I mean, for women too.
For women too, it was a very good score. So for a lot of you guys, that is the goal, just finish. You know, for people that aren't at that same level, that aren't like regional or former regional athletes, sanctional level athletes, someone that's more intro to this, I think you're looking at just trying to finish the first part. If you have handstand walks, this is like a good opportunity to like try to get them in the open. And if you don't, this is a good opportunity to try to get them.
Yeah, and the beauty is that it's not like sanctional or the regional events. It's 5 foot increments at a time. So it allows someone who doesn't have a super high skill level in handstand walks to still be able to chip away at that skill and maybe get to the round of, you know, the second set 15 or 9. Even if you don't finish, there's the ability to get further just because you can break every 5 feet.
Yeah. Some important stuff for this workout that we should go over is warm-up. The warm-up on this one is huge. Like Danielle said, this is really about managing back fatigue.
Spinal.
It's going to be very intense on your back. Warming up, activating your core and your glutes is going to be ultra important on this one. We will be posting a warm-up with this video. We'll also have it on our social media. I also want to mention, and this is something we ran into as a program last time this workout came around, this is not an ideal workout for redos at all, but some of you guys will have to redo, and those of you that do know you're going to have to redo, I mean, you're not going to know yet, but immediately after the workout, if you know you're going to redo, you have to immediately switch from workout mentality to like rehab, taking care of recovery,
go
mobility.
See your PT, start mobilizing 100%. Do not lay on the ground. Don't not do anything for the rest of that day. You have to already be thinking about how the next time you do that workout is going to look like.
Immediately, yeah, exactly. So we're suggesting people do this Friday to give you optimal recovery time to redo Monday.
100%.
And even then, a lot of you guys will still have to redo this with some back swings. You know, that's just the nature of the CrossFit Open if you're competitive.
Of redos. You're never going to be 100%.
Never. So strategy-wise, though, Do you have any like tips for this one? Anything you remember from last time?
So something I remember from last time was instead of a high hip deadlift, I was doing a lower hip deadlift and using more of like a squat sort of position. And that saved my back for the long run till eventually like my core started to burn out.
That's we see that a lot, especially with touch and go deadlifts. Your hip tends to stay higher and it becomes, again, like way more back intensive. You start pulling a lot more with your back off the floor. Even if you're touch and going, you have to make sure you warm up with a good hip position, getting your hips down low enough that you can use your legs and not just keeping them super
Yeah,
high.
and I think not focusing on trying to move so fast through the deadlifts, almost kind of slowing the rep down in a sense to make sure that you keep that optimal position, because it will pay off for you tremendously in the long run. It's okay if you don't have the fastest first part, but if your back is blown out by the time you get to that second barbell, I mean, you're looking at singles.
Yeah, you're done at that point. You're going to singles. As far as the handstand push-ups, with this standard, what are some things you suggest? I mean, it's just for everyone.
So, I mean, we've had this standard now for quite a few years. So something for me, or that works for a lot of athletes, is knowing where your hands have to go each rep, because your foot has to cross that line or obviously cross that line. And a lot of times as we get tired, we tend to overextend, right? So making sure your hands are in that same placement. So even if you are overextending, your heels will clearly go over the line, and break early. There's no need to go unbroken. I mean, we saw Kristen Holte do strict handstand push-ups. Unless you're super efficient at that, you have no business doing that.
Yeah, that's not something I recommend to almost anybody. And we talked about this right before we did the video. It's really not about the handstand push-ups in this workout, unless you're trying to be like a 6-minute time.
Yeah.
It really does come down to the deadlifts and managing the back fatigue. So there is no real need to push the handstand push-ups that aggressively, especially out of the start.
No, I think if you have a breakdown, like let's say in the round of 21, you just want to break it 2 times, just have a quick break, shake out your arms and go right back up. I think just on any of the 2 movements, breaking it early just to give the muscle just a quick second to recover, and then moving back through it. You don't want to get in a position where you're getting later in the workout and you're reduced to singles or barely being able to clear 5-foot handstand walks.
Yeah. We've done in our training, if you guys follow a training program, you've seen this. We've been doing a lot of handstand push-up clusters, and we did some deadlift clusters for a good 6 weeks leading up to this. So you want to almost take that same mentality going into this. When Danielle talks about like taking quick breaks, treat it like, you know, it's 21 reps, but as a cluster set, 2 or 3 breaks of 5 to 8 seconds in between, you know, just like we've been doing in training. So you guys should be pretty well prepared for this. As far as some other stuff that can really like save you time on this, things like chalk and belt, do you have any tips for that?
You should start with your belt on. I'm pretty sure everyone will do this workout with a belt. Start with it on, doesn't have to be tight, but that way when you go to need it, it's already on. You don't have to fumble with it. You don't have to be taking it on and off. Someone like me, I tend to sweat a lot, so I would have something to just, some sweat guards just to manage that, because you don't want to be slipping on your handstand walks or having to chalk over and over to keep your grip on the deadlifts.
Yeah, especially if you work on a gym that's outdoors or humid.
I would use a mixed grip. The guy started with a conventional grip. I'm not sure why he did that.
Unless you're hook gripping, I wouldn't do that. If you're confident with your hook grip, go for it. If not, I'd say stick with mixed grip the whole way.
Yeah.
You know, anything else on this one?
Just do not redline. Even if you think you're the best handstand pusher or walker, just break early, manage your rest. If you have someone that's not judging you but around you, coaching you, have them count out your rest, make sure that they know your strategy for your breakdown for your rep count on your deadlifts and your handstand push-ups or walk, and good luck.
Yeah, real quick, this is one I think we should have 2 plans for going in, something we talked about. Yeah, we want to manage back fatigue, but if your back blows up and you do hit a wall on that, you want to have a backup plan of reps that you're going to fall into, and you want your judge to be aware of that as well.
Yeah, I would just write that on your scorecard, like I plan to break this many times on this bar, this many times on that bar, and if it just starts to go, just be like switching to other rep scheme, and then they can remind you of whatever reps you have.
Good luck, guys.
Bye.
So remember, guys, check out our YouTube and IG for the warm-up. And if you want more info about our training program or you want to join the team and be a part of it, follow the link, teamsoultraining.com. Thanks. It's good? Is that okay, or you want to do it again? Right here?
How?
I don't want to do
The
that.
wrist warm-ups.
Follow
Follow this link.
this link and